That's the one. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. I know right now, first off, hi, I'm Pearl Manhattan. And welcome to Express Yourself with Pearl Manhattan. Healing through art. I know Pete McDevitt has a pretty big show going on, and I know a lot of my viewers are over there. I also know that I've missed a week, so people were unsure if I was going to stream today or not. And to be honest, I was unsure too. I have been sick with a cold. I have also recently switched to a vegan diet because I have sensitivities to dairy, all dairy products, and eggs, and gluten. And hi, Stevie Lee, nice to see you. Glad you're here. I was just explaining I've been sick with a lot of things, but I've recently switched to a vegan diet, and I had bought some little French bread pizzas for my son, and they weren't the toppings that he liked. And I was real hungry the other night, and I thought, gosh, I'll just eat one of these little pizzas. And oh my goodness, my body told me straight up that I need to stay on the vegan diet. So I'm dealing with that today. I'm a little sore and a little tired, and so that's why you're getting just the table view today. I did not have the energy or the ability to set up multiple cameras to go back and forth. Thank you, Stevie Lee. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you. I don't know if you were here before, but I'm going to go on and get into it. I know a lot of people are over at Pete McDevitt's channel. He's doing a really neat thing for the Disney YouTube streamer community, giving out awards and everything. And I got to catch a little bit of that stream, and it was quite fun. And I think they made some excellent choices. They chose Joey from It's Joey's World for Guy Smiley. And if anybody deserves all the awards, all the things, it's Joey from It's Joey's World. I can be in the depths of depression. I suffer from depression, so I'm always depressed, but I can be in the depths of one of my depression bouts, and a video from Joey will pop up, and just makes me happy. Well, I'm glad you're here, Stevie. I'll explain what this is first, since you weren't here last time. It was 2 weeks ago. I missed last week because of being sick. This is what I call Painty Paper. And what we did, we took a regular piece of drawing paper from a pad. Hold on just one moment, please. I will be right back. I have to tell my son to turn things down. All right, I'm terribly sorry about that. My caregiver only works a couple hours on Sunday, so this is called Painty Paper. I take a regular piece of paper from a drawing pad that I get at the Dollar Tree, and I put down a layer of what my homemade gesso to kind of prime the paper and give it a texture that the paint will stick to. And what that gesso is regular white glue or clear glue in water and white paint. So I put that down for the background. And then we did a fun thing with the people in the chat about, we picked colors and shapes, and I did different designs. This was actually, I stenciled around a circle of cardboard. This I made with something I just did circles. I took a folded piece of cardboard and I made the V's. I splattered some paint around. I made little dots. So this was our Painty Paper. And the reason we do this The reason I did it was I like to do this instead of buying like, oh, let me find something here, like scrapbook paper. Here we go, here's a pad. Like this designer scrapbook paper that you can buy at Michael's and stuff. Sometimes I don't have the exact paper I want, and can't, you know, with this age of ordering everything online, I can't get to a store to get the paper I want. So I make the paper. And today we're going to turn this into 4 little note cards. And you can do this at home. You can do this with any kind of paper. You can use watercolors. You can use markers. You can use colored pencils. You can use anything you want. And you just decorate your paper. Make sure it's a random pattern. You don't want any direction to it. See, I can turn it this way. It looks good. I can turn it this way. It doesn't matter which way we turn this paper. Then when we turn it too fast, I'll give you motion sickness. But any way we turn this paper, it still looks good. And so what I'm going to do, I have white cardstock. Now you can get this at Walmart in a great big packet or a little packet. But you don't have to use cardstock. You can use construction paper. You can use heavy paper. You can use poster board. You can use whatever you want. This measures 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11. It's regular, the same size as copy or paper. You can use the same paper that goes in your printer if you want. It won't be as strong, but we're going to add some things to it. And you'll need something to cut with. Now, you don't have to have a fancy paper cutter. This is my paper cutter. And actually, I picked it up at the thrift store a couple years ago for like 10 bucks. But they also make paper cutters that you slide the paper in and you slide it across for scrapbooking. You can get them at office supply stores. You can get them at like Michael's, Joann's, Tuesday Morning, which is a clearance store. A lot of Tuesday mornings are closing, so if you have one in your area and you're interested in just about anything, I would say it's worth it to make the trip to Tuesday Morning and check out what they've got. So for the size card I want to make, the size card is called an A2 card, and they're real easy to make if your paper is 11 inches by 8.5 inches. They're real easy to make. You cut it in half, and how you cut it determines how it's going to fold. So half of 11 is 5.5, so 5.5 inches, and I'm going to cut it there. And that gives me, this is 2 cards now, and I'll show you the difference. If we cut it with the 8.5 inch side at the top, we will still get 2 cards. We cut it at half of 8.5, which is 4.25. That way we still get 2 cards, but the fold is going to be in the different place. So I'm going to go ahead and fold these. I'll leave the paper cutter there because I'm going to use it in a minute. We're going to go ahead and fold these, and I'll show you the difference in the cards. They will end up the same side, but they will fold differently. And this is a plastic knife that comes with the scoreboard and stuff, but you can use something sturdy and flat, and you can make your crease, and then you have your card, and it either opens this way or it opens that way. And that's 1 card. And we'll go ahead and fold this one, and you can use a scoreboard. In fact, I'll show you that in a minute, but I want to show how you can do this yourself if you have kids and you want to make some cards, or if you've got gift, a birthday, a special occasion coming up, and you don't know what to do, you can always make them a set of 4 little note cards. And this one opens this way or this way. So you see the pattern, where you're going to put your pattern is a little different, but they're both the same size. So let me fold these other 2 cards real quick, and then I will move on to the next step. And don't stress too much about your edges being exactly perfect. You're not ever going to get those exactly perfect. And if they're too far off, you can always go back and use your cutter or use a ruler and a straight line and your scissors to make them square. I've just done this so much that it just naturally works for me. But I have bad eyes, so I don't always get them perfect. Got a whole stack of card blanks I made over behind me here that are totally cattywampus, and I have to go back and straighten them up. So there we have 4 note cards. Now, let's go back to our main pattern. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mat this onto another piece of paper and then put it on top of this. So I'll have a white edge, and then I'll have my matte edge, and then I'll have this paper. So I picked out 3 different colors. This is cardstock, but you can use construction paper, you can use colored paper, you can use something you painted. And I'm going to put them up against these 3 and see which one I think goes the best. And I like the way this pulls the blue, but I also like the yellow because it kind of makes it more sunny. But I like the red too. So let's do it without all the colors there, and let's get a good look at this and see what we think. Your card is gonna end up looking roughly like this. So let's see, do I like the red? Tell me which one you like in the comments. Or we could use all 3, you know. And let me see if I've got a green here somewhere. Oh, this is the only green I've got, but we'll try a green one too. And do the yellow. We could do one of each. I think so. Let's look how this green is gonna look here. Yeah, that'll work. So we're gonna do one of each. Now, this is where you kind of gotta think. If you need to write things down, then do so. Let me grab something to write with, and I'll use a green marker, and I've got some paper here, and it's going to be upside down for you, and then I'll turn it around. Our paper started out, we had 8.5 inches by 11 inches, and then we cut that in half and we folded it, and that gave us a card that is 4 1/4 inches by 5, excuse me, and 1/2 inches. Okay, and so we want to put a mat on that, and how much space you want around the edges depend, you know, that's a personal preference. For me, I like to do 1/4 inch between my card. I like to leave 1/4 inch space, which is about that much, and then I like to leave 1/4 inch again. And this is how you figure out how big to cut all your paper. So I like to 1/4 of an inch on each side. That's 1/2 of an inch. But it's really easy to figure that out. We're going to take 1/2 an inch off of 4 1/4 inches, and you can use your ruler if you have to, because 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 4/8. So if we have 1 1/4 inches, we'll go back 4/8 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives us 3 3/4. So let's say mat over here. That gives us 3 3/4 of an inch by, and we're going to do a 1/2 inch, take off a 1/2 inch here, and so this side is going to be 5. And then our main, we'll call it our main paper, we're going to take another 1/2 inch off of here, which makes that 3 1/4 inch by 4 1/2 inches. So here's our chart of our measurements and how we're going to make them. So let's start. I'll just start cutting and I'll show you how this works. I'm going to put this aside so I can cut. Our mats are 3 3/4 by 5. So I want to start and measure 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. And I'm going to do that, and the extra paper can just go to the side. This is how you can use little bitty scraps of paper you have to make pretty cards. So we do this again, 3 3/4 inches by 5. And if you don't have a fancy paper cutter, you just use a ruler and a pencil and make your pencil marks on the back side, and then we'll put the tape where the pencil marks are when we put it together. So 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Whoop, I cut that a little large, so I can just take the extra off. And the main thing is you want it to be as, you want these corners to be 90 degrees as much as possible. But if it's a little wonky, you know, it's handmade, so it's gonna, you know, it's not gonna be exactly perfect. 3 3/4. But think of how much joy you're gonna bring somebody when you give them a pretty little set of handmade note cards out of paper that you painted yourself. All right, there we are. We have our 4 mats. Now we'll cut our main paper. We need 4 pieces of 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. We need 4 pieces of this. So let's start from this edge. We'll go, let's do the 5 inches on this side. It might be a little easier. Nope, not 5, 4 1/2. This is our 4 1/2. And our 4 1/2. And then our other side is going to be 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Always be careful with these kind of things. Don't put your finger past that little bar. It's there to keep you from chopping your finger off. Do not try this at home if you are not sure how to use one of these cutters. This is our 4 what size is this? 4 1/2. That's a little bigger than 4 1/2. I want to cut that edge off anyway. So we'll make that a 4 1/2 by, and you can turn it and find the best looking parts of these. And then I need one more. So this one is, that one's 4.5 by 3.25. And there we go. And so we have our 4. And there they are. Oh, hello, Ready Set Autism family. I'm glad you dropped by. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you. All right, we'll take all our extra scraps. That's the end of our cutting. And yeah, I remember making these in school too, you know, but there was always a push of, you know, you got to buy things from the store. And I don't know, some people, they started to look down on handmade things. And these days, we're all stuck at home. We don't have the opportunity to get to the store. So making things by hand and mailing letters. We need to get back into writing letters. Oh, the kids are in the pool. Hallelujah. Gosh, I wish they would open up our pool here, but we live in apartments and we're not in a phase where they can open up the pool for us. But soon. I'm told soon. So the next thing we're going to do, I like to use double-sided tape. It's called a dry adhesive. I get mine from the Dollar Tree. $1 a roll. And a roll like this will do a whole bunch of cards. I use a little more tape than some people, but I like this. It's $1 a roll. So for small batches and stuff, you know, or you can order it by the case if you want to. They do sell it by the case online now. This one's got some little floofy things hanging off of it from the masking tape that I used. Anyway, so here are my mats, and here's my designer paper. On the back of the designer paper, my homemade designer paper, I'm going to take my double-sided tape. And the easiest way to do it with double-sided tape, let me get it here in the camera. Sorry about the shadows. I'm working on my studio though. I've got a ripped edge and I place it down where I want it to be. I roll the tape out with my hand, stick it down, and then tear it off. Just like that. And that way you don't have to stop and find scissors or anything else. You can get straighter edges, but straight edges really don't matter with this part. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about that. My boy is an elopist and a runner. So I get with the wandering behaviors, and, you know, I live in Fort Knox, have special locks on the doors and windows and everything. So I understand completely. Yeah, she is sometimes it's called ATG, and you have a gun thing, and you can, you know, this is the low budget version. It's nice to have the tape gun. It saves a lot of wear and tear on your fingers. I have to use a lot of lotion on my hands because the sticky stuff will it takes the moisture out of your fingertips, and if I do this too much, I get cracks in my fingers. But for this little batch, you won't have to worry about that. If you're just making a couple little card sets to send to people or to write yourself, and, you know, then this isn't so bad. And I don't pre-cut it because this stuff sticks really, really good. I'll have to check that out, Ready Set Autism family. I will have to check your video out. I just went on Amazon and bought the little locks that you get for hotel room doors, really. They hook into the space where the thing for the lock goes in. They hook into that, and then you close the door, and then you ratchet it down onto the door, and you can't. Anyway, I'm glad you can see that. Stop by too. I will be back checking out your channel really soon. I've just had a time of it lately. But enjoy that. Get them dried off and fed and bedtime stories and all that good stuff. All right. It was good to see them. I enjoy watching their videos. Their children are just amazing, all of them. Beautiful, and they're just such wonderful, positive, upbeat people. And it's rare to find in my world, finding positive, upbeat people, but I enjoy their live streams and their videos so much. You know, it's because I know where they come from, because we're in similar situations with my son. He is a wanderer. He's an elopist. He's got no personal safety skills and very little social skills. He loves going places. We just can't, because nothing's open, really. And here he is wandering into my room. Sweetheart, I'm doing a live, okay? All right. He just came in to say hi. He knows that his big sister listens in even when she can't be watching. So, all right, so we've got tape on all of these. And so what we'll do is one at a time. I use this little tool. I got a pack of these. Let me hold it up to the camera here and see if you can see it. It's just got a little sharp tip on the end. I call it a Pokey Tool, as many people do. But it just makes things so easy. You get a set of 2 of them at the Dollar Tree. I'm using the larger one. The smaller one tends to bend. It's very thin and tiny. So there we go. I've got my tape. I have a little trash can right next to me. Always the best advice for crafters. And then I'm gonna take this and, oh, this still has, you know, I'm gonna do this real quick. Oh, he's making popcorn out there. You know what? I cannot find, there they are. In the jar where they're supposed to be. I'm just gonna cut these little rough edges off of here a little bit. And he's really excited because I bought him this game and a game system off of eBay that he's wanted for a really long time, and I finally just said, okay, fine, I'll get it for you. And the game got delivered yesterday, but the gaming system won't be delivered until Tuesday. And while he is a very patient boy, you know it's hard when you know something really great is coming in the mail and you only get half of it. It can be frustrating, and so he has a right to be a little frustrated. And get it as straight as you can, but don't stress over it, because it's the journey, it's the whole picture that's going to make the card look cute. You know, don't stress too much. Eyeball it. If it's crooked, then make the next one crooked too. You know, I've made cards like this where I just use triangles and I totally put them, you know, wumpus, and cut off the, ooh, that does look cute, you know, and cut off the extra edges. In fact, let's just be crooked. No, let's do it straight. I'll do another set crooked for you. And meanwhile, while I'm doing this, I've got to check this. What is all going on over here? Okay, just Instagrams. I'm going to plug my Etsy shop. I have a shop on Etsy called Miss Pearl Shop. I think there's a link down in the description for those of you watching the video after the fact, watching the replay, couldn't make it live. There's a lot of good streaming going on today, so I've realized that a lot of people couldn't, you know, a lot of people are watching a lot of the good streams that are on. Mama Mouse. Oh, and Lisa, hi. Did Pete's stream end? I'm sorry I had to leave, but I didn't stream last week, so I had to come stream. But man, Pete's stream was so much fun. Pete McDevitt. He had such a fun stream today. We're making a note card set today, ladies. I'm so glad you're here. 2 weeks ago, if you were with me, you saw we made Painty Papers. And today we have picked out some mats and we have cut some blank note cards. And I'll go ahead and put this back up. Oh, Tina! Marie, hi! Oh my goodness! Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Oh yeah, certainly, Lisa. Make a phone call. I know about that. I gotta make all kinds of phone calls tomorrow. Oh, don't you love it when the doctor refers you to get a test? So you call the specialist office and they go, oh, we don't do that here. We do that over at the hospital. You need to call them. So you call the hospital and the hospital goes, oh, well, we can't do that test until your doctor orders you to have this test, which is done in the lab at your doctor's office. And it's like round and round. Gonzo! The great Gonzo. Mike Wheeler, you deserved that. You are super mod. I mean, you know, you show up to my streams, and my streams are craft streams about, you know, seeing things. So I gotta thank you for that, man. You are awesome. But anyway, we started with a piece of paper, and like I said, it can be cardstock, it can be notebook paper, it can be any kind of paper you want for the base. It was 8.5 by 11 inches. We cut it in half, and that gave us two pieces that when we folded them in half, see, this is the long way, and then I cut them both ways so you could see. We cut each piece of paper in half, and then when you fold that in half exactly, you get cards that are 4 1/4 inches by 5.5 inches. Those are called size A2. And then we cut our mats at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And we cut our main paper, our Painty Paper that we made 2 weeks ago. We cut that at 3 1/4 by 4.5. And so, I explained I use double-sided tape. I get my tape from the Dollar Tree. And now we are going to put these on the cards. For envelopes, you have a couple options. You can buy A2 sized envelopes. I have an envelope board that I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, I'm doing good on time. I'll make an envelope and show you how those work too. I have a board that punches and got a guy. Oh, it's fancy. And like I said, I got my craft stuff, most of it, at a store called Tuesday Morning. If you have a Tuesday Morning in your area, they have more than just craft stuff. They have all sorts of stuff, bedding, sheets, food, all sorts of stuff. I know a lot of them are going out of business. We're losing ours. And then right now, everything is on like 90% off. So hamburger and hot dog style, that's what they called it in school. That is brilliant, Stevie Lee. And yeah, that's exactly what it is, hamburger and hot dog size. And this is how I make the cards for my Etsy store. Again, I'm gonna plug my Etsy store. I got a couple stationery sets up there. I got some holiday cards. I'm making fall and Halloween cards right now. And once I get done with all those, I will move up to making Christmas sets. But this is something you can do since we're all trapped at home. At least we are out here on the Pass Coast. I don't think we're ever going to get out of stage 1. Oh, But I try to stay upbeat and cheery. I apologize if I'm not all upbeat and cheery. I've been suffering with some depression. And I have a therapist, and I have what I call my RAP plan, WRAP. But I have a plan, and kind of like in the War Games movie, they had DEFCON 1 and DEFCON 2 and DEFCON 3. So I look at, where I am on the chart of my personal depression, and then I look at the things that I need to be doing to pull myself out of it. And sometimes that means I have to turn off all the electronic stuff and just eat healthy and get a lot of sleep, a lot of rest. And Lord, I don't know if it's been hot where you guys are, but it's hot where we are. And out here on the Past Coast, they don't believe in air conditioning. Tuesday morning, oh yeah, you better check and see if yours is closing or not, Stevie Lee, because a lot of them are closing, and their deals are fantastic. But you can get all kinds of art supplies and craft supplies and stuff. Now, here we are. We've got our paper on our mat, and then we have our tape on the back, and this is the tricky part here. No, it's not the tricky part. And like I said, if you lay it down and it's wonky, and go ahead and put it on the mat wonky, and then put the mat wonky on the card. You can put it on that way, see? And even being a little offset, it still looks good. This is why this is a good thing you can do with little kids. Let them finger paint the paper. Well, thank you, Stevie. Yeah, it can be tough when you get lost in your head, and I want to show you that I am not perfect. If you look, we'll use this as a measuring guide, and I'll show you. This is totally crooked. It's over by 1/8 of an inch here. But if you're just looking in the card, if you got this in the mail, wouldn't you be happy? Oh my gosh, and you did this all by yourself, I mean, yeah. So, and then this is our side card, because we cut it hot dog style. This is our hot dog card. I'm going to use that from now on. Now I got to go make some cards with hot dogs and hamburgers on them. I'll show you this. So this is the set that I'm working on right now. This is, I make these little sets, and they're stationary sets. The lid comes off, and then it opens up. And inside I usually put 6 or 8 note cards here, and then I put 6 or 8 3x3 cards here, and then I put 6 or 8 little tags with strings here, and then usually I put a little composition book, and then I put a coordinating pen that has this same paper inside there, and I put that there. Sometimes I put a little box for the stamps, and but yeah, this is, so I'll be making cards for this set later on tonight. And this one's not exactly perfect, but I'm not going to sit here and point out all the faults to you. But I mean, when you're looking at it, and it sits on your little shelf just like that. But anyway, I'm always sticking my arm in the tape. So here we go. And I should have my glasses on, but and there we go. 2 cards. But yeah, you can get the grandkids, get the kids, get the neighbor kids, you're tired of them tearing down your fence and hitting your car with baseballs. Bring them in, let them finger paint. This is a great church activity, Sunday school. Because even boys can get into this. It's not just a girl thing. Let them finger paint and then take the piece of paper they finger painted and cut it up and help them, you know, let mom do the cutting, because, you know, use construction paper, paper bags. You can use paper bags. If you're like me, you got tons of paper bags, because they passed a law here that you had to use your own bags from home. And then COVID hit. Excuse me. Then the pandemic, whatever. I'm not monetized, so I'm not worried about it. And they won't let you use your own bags from home anymore. So I have stacks of paper bags again. You can use paper bag for the background. So there are our 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that adorable? Now, I'll show you this part. Let me grab just a piece of paper. And where is it? There it is. This thing right here. This is the neatest thing in the world. This is an envelope punch board. I love my envelope punch board. All you do, and it's tiny writing, so if you need reading glasses, you're going to have to, you know, but you look at your size cards. Remember, I said these were A2 size. That is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you go down the little chart and you find A2, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You need a piece of paper that's 8 1/8, 8 1/8, excuse me, by 8 1/8. So we'll get out our chopper, and like I said, don't try this at home if you do not know how to use one of these things. They are dangerous. I've been doing this for... All right, Tina, that's fine. And thank you, Mama. Yvonne. I'm going to try to start calling you by your name. Unless you don't mind, Mama. I don't know. I feel funny calling you Mama. But there we go. 8 by 8. 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. We made our paper. Oh, and Tina, I've already got 2 more that I'm working on. I've been putting pictures up on Instagram about them. I'm going to do a lot of Halloween and autumn stuff. All right, now the next step, we've got our paper cut. We go back here to our little chart, and it says score line at 3 3/4. So you look up here and you put the edge of the paper on 3 3/4. You punch. And then remember, I said I had this plastic knife. This is this thing that it comes from. It just slides right in there. So you take your plastic knife, and there's a little score well right here. And since I'm just using printer paper, El Cheapo printer paper from Walmart. And then once you punch it and you do that score line, then you take this, and there's a little tab. I don't know, you can't see it. Let me turn it this way so you can see what I'm doing. And you line it up. See that little tab right there? You line it up on that. You punch, and then you make your little score line. I'm gonna have a little fun doing this upside down and backwards, but I'm good at that. Ginger Rogers wasn't the only one that did everything backwards in high heels. All right, punch and score, and then you line it up on that little line and punch and score. And then there's another fun thing on this that I just recently discovered. We're going to take on the wider side, and we're going to stick it in this way, And you see what that did? Can you see the difference? It rounds it off, which just makes it prettier once you get it all together. So we did that on our widest sides. I know I'm going really fast. If you have any questions, do feel free to reach out to me on Insta. I've always got Insta on as the easiest place to reach me. Or if you're on Discord, I will be opening a Discord chat board soon because I'm doing a lot of my music stuff over on Twitch now. So I'm spending a lot of time over there, and so soon I will have a Discord. Also, all my contacts, support, Etsy store, website, socials are all down in the description of this video. And soon I will be having a giveaway. I also urge you to go to my website. Now, go to my website at www.pearlmanhattan.com if you haven't, and sign up for my fan club. I will be doing drawings and sending out special deals like 20% off everything in my Etsy store for certain people. So if you want to know when I'm throwing a sale, or maybe free shipping, free priority mail shipping, that kind of thing, be sure to go join my fan club on www.pearlmanhattan.com. All right, we're going to take our double-sided. I folded it on my scores. I punched and rounded the corners on the top and the bottom, and you can tell which side's the wider side. Now, I'm going to take my double-sided tape on this one, and I'm just going to go about 2/3 of the way up. And I'm going to 2/3 of the way up. On this one, this is going to be the flap that closes it. So, all I'm going to do, I'm going to run it all the way to the edge, both sides. But I'm not going to take the protective cover off of this side, and I can't tell you how many times I accidentally do that. Don't touch this side, but the side we only went 2/3 up, we're going to pull with our little Pokey Tool. This is also good for when you cut stencils with a machine. You can use this to poke out the little pieces. Yeah, let me get that in there. Will it let me chat? Nope, it's not gonna let me chat. It's down in the description. You got it close. Pearlmanhattan. Now the reason we only went 3/4 the way up is this little thing is gonna hang over these. And if we went all the way up, we would tape our bottom flap to the inside of the envelope and we wouldn't be able to put a card in it. So you take, smooth that down. Don't touch the tear tape on this side until you're ready to mail it or whatever. And then take your little card, go right in there. Now one more little touch. After you've got your 4 envelopes, you can also buy envelopes. You can also cut your cards to fit the envelopes you have. There are lots of things you can do. I want to do one more cute little thing. I've got, let's use the green. I like to do a little bit of detail on mine if I'm giving this away. This is a leftover scrap of paper. It's about 11 inches long, and I'm going to cut it just about 2 inches. That's too wide. Let's do it 1 1/4 inches just for, there we go. That looks better. I'm going to cut that at 1 1/4 inches. And this just, I don't know, it adds just a nice little professional touch. I'm going to lay that paper down. I'm going to lay down my cards and my envelopes. I'm going to take and fold it over like this. It's what's called a little belly band, and it looks like it hangs over about that much. So I'm going to remember how far it is. Really, you don't need a whole lot of tape for this part. I'm just going to put one little piece right there for now. And then you get it all lined up together where this looks nice and straight. There we go. I'm going to flick that little piece of tape, the cover off of that tape. I'm going to fold this over. And there you go. All right, let me do this here. Web browser. Might get a little extra noise here for a second. Okay, it just pulled up the chat. Let me do this. We'll say, there we go. There's the website. Also on Etsy. My store is Miss Pearl's Shop. But, and what a wonderful little gift, you know, 4 little note cards, 4 little envelopes. And like I said, if you've got kids or the neighbor kids, you want to get them out of trouble. Anybody, any age can do this. The painty papers, you see what, you know, if you weren't here when we made this painty paper, that the pink, I used a makeup sponge. I dipped it in pink paint and I stamped it around. This, I used a brush around a circle of cardboard and just dabbed it down. This, I had something that was a circle. I dipped that in the paint and made circles. This was a folded piece of cardboard. I dipped it in the paint. The green, we splattered. I took and put green paint on the brush and tapped it and got green splatters. The red, I think I used the other end of a pen. And toot, 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 toot. All right, Mike, thank you for coming today. God, it was good to see you guys. And I've been 53 minutes, which is good. I like to give everybody a few minutes bio break because there's so much happening on YouTube tonight with the live place. I know that Dad has got 3 different things going on. I know Pete McDevitt. I know they've got that crazy, I'll put quotes down so you know I'm not calling her crazy, that crazy Disney lady, talking about the recent thing that happened with her. And I know that Dean from the live place is doing some trivia tonight. So many good things coming up. Just go to www.theliveplace.com and see what you're going to see. I will be back here on YouTube on Wednesday morning, but I will be posting on my Instagram about Twitch and what I'm doing over there. A lot of fun things. I'm glad you do. And in the coming weeks, we'll be making these painty papers again. Next week, I think we're going to do some autumn and Halloween painty papers here. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Thank you all so much for coming out. I do appreciate you so very much. I've missed you terribly. And this has been the highlight of my day. So I thank you guys so much. And like I said, make sure you go sign up for my fan club so you can hear about giveaways and everything else. Y'all go on and have a great evening. And I will see you Wednesday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thank you. Y'all have a great night. Now I gotta figure